Good morning, all of you. So in our previous class, we completed LR circuits, growth and decay of current, and we discussed some of the problems based on that, right? And now in today's class, let us see this LC oscillations. LC oscillations, like when inductor and capacitor are connected in series, only inductor and capacitor are connected in series, then oscillations will take place, oscillation of the charge will take place. Now let us see that circuit diagram and what will happen then. So like we consider a capacitor of capacitance C is charged to a potential difference V, or let's suppose the maximum charge is V on that, V naught on that. And so now it is connected to an inductor of inductance L, which is an ideal inductor we are checking. That means its internal resistance is 0. And so now this is a capacitance here. Let's suppose this Q naught is the initial charge present on that, and this is the switch S here. So then we close the switch initially here, and let us consider this is the positive charged plate and this is the negative charged plate here. That means initially that is the polarities what we are assuming there, right? So initially that polarities I am taking like that. So just mention that consider a capacitor of capacitance C. Consider a capacitor of capacitance C, charge it to potential difference, charge it to a maximum charge Q naught. Charge it to a maximum charge Q naught. It is connected to an ideal inductor. Then it is connected to an ideal inductor. Ideal inductor means I said already its internal resistance is 0. That means we should not consider any resistance there, right? If it is not an ideal resistance, then the inductor may possess some resistance, then we need to include that resistance, or we can take that as simply a combination of L and R. We can take an resistance in series with that L you can consider if it is an internal resistance is there, right? An ideal inductor of inductance L. The switch is closed at T is equal to 0. The switch is closed at T is equal to 0. So then generally first let us think about, that is the description of that circuit, and first let us think about what will happen here when you are connecting such a charged capacitor to an inductor. So then generally this is a positive charge, and that means this is some potential difference is there, and here initially no potential is there because we are connecting an ideal inductor with 0 initial current. And so then what will happen is the current starts flowing along this direction here. Once if you close this switch here, then current starts flowing along this direction. Once the current is flowing here, then current passing through this inductor is changing, right? So once the inductor is changing, then some induced EMF will start developing across this inductor here because the flux is changing there, and so then induced EMF will develop across this inductor here, and so then discharging of the capacitor will take place. And so by the time that means now initially capacitor is charged, means you can say in terms of energy if you want to talk, then total energy will be stored in the capacitor here in the form of this electrostatic field, right? Now once the discharging of the capacitor is taking place here, let's suppose I be the current at any instant of this time, then once the capacitor is decreasing, charge on the capacitor is decreasing here, then electrostatic energy is decreasing. That should appear as magnetic energy at the inductor here, because there is no loss of energy. We are not taking any resistance here. Ideal case we are taking. When there is no resistance, there is no loss of energy. When there is no loss of energy, then this total magnetic energy will be produced, an equal amount of magnetic energy will be produced here. And so then at finally, that means then charge on the capacitor will become 0 at one some instant. That indicates that total electrostatic energy will become 0. Then the total energy should be in the form of this magnetic field here. So magnetic field energy should be there here. And so then total energy will be now in the form of this magnetic field. And so then EMF will be there across this inductor now. So the charge on the capacitor is 0. Then potential difference across the capacitor is 0. Then what will happen is here potential is 0, potential and charge is 0, but here potential difference is there. Then what will happen is the charging of capacitor will take place in opposite direction. The charging of capacitor will take place in opposite direction, means then this side you will get the negative charge, positive charge, and this side you will get this negative charge here. And so that then finally the polarities I am saying here, so this will get positive and this will get negative here, right, once the discharging of capacitor is completed. And so then charging of the capacitor will takes place. And so then finally here the energy will become zero and total energy will appear as electrostatic energy in the capacitor. So that process will repeats there. So once the energy will become zero here and then energy will become zero, and first its capacitor discharges completely and then charging of capacitor will takes place in opposite direction, opposite polarities, and so then fully once it will become fully charged, then again discharging of the capacitor will take place. So such a charging and discharging of the capacitor takes place continuously, that means periodically, we can say it takes place periodically. And so then that is nothing but we call that LC oscillations here. The charging and discharging of this capacitor is nothing but we call LC oscillations, right? And so now here at any instant so at any instant of time, and first you may describe the situation there, like what will happen here. So just to mention that what will happen there, when switch is closed at T is equal to 0, initially total energy is stored in the capacitor. Total energy is stored in the capacitor in the form of electrostatic field. Once the switch is closed, the discharging of the capacitor takes place. As the current through the inductor is changing, then self-induced EMF is developed across the inductor. Self-induced EMF will be developed across the inductor. So after certain time, capacitor will be fully discharged. Capacitor is completely discharged, so that total energy now appears as magnetic energy across the inductor. That means total energy appears as energy stored in magnetic field. Energy is stored in magnetic field around the inductor. Then charging of the capacitor takes place. In opposite direction until total energy converts into total energy converts into energy in electrostatic field across the capacitor. And so this process of charging and discharging of the capacitor, takes place continuously. During the discharging of the capacitor, let Q be the charge on the capacitor. And I be the current through the inductor. At any instant of time. So now here actually in this you can solve this problem by the two ways. That means we are going to derive an expression for charge on the capacitor at any instant, and then we are going to derive an expression for this current through the inductor at any instant. So that is our aim here. So for this now you can do the two types of approaches there. One is just by applying the Kirchhoff law, and the other is by using the conservation of energy. So the conservation of energy is useful in solving the problems also. That just I will explain the Kirchhoff law, and I will explain how to write this conservation of energy also. So then just if you are applying this Kirchhoff law, then you can say this current, let us apply the Kirchhoff law along this direction here. So then by KVL what we can write there is minus L into di by dt, and then plus this value will be plus Q by C. Now you can write this is equal to 0, right? And so now this equation I can write this as minus L into, now this di value we are writing here. Now the charge on the capacitor goes on decreasing here. When the charge on the capacitor goes on decreasing, then this I value we can write as minus dq by dt, right? So this I value we are writing as minus dq by dt. That is important here because charge on the capacitor goes on decreasing. Q is a decreasing function. So plus Q by C is equal to 0. And so therefore that we can write this as d square Q by dt square plus 1 by LC into Q. This is equal to 0. And now you can compare that equation with our equation of SHM. So then compare with equation of SHM, that is d square x by dt square plus omega square x. So that is equal to 0. Now compare these two equations here. Here x is displacement of the particle is variable, and similarly here this charge of this capacitor, charge on the capacitor is variable. So just by comparing those two, first of all what we can write there is omega value we can write here. Therefore that omega is equal to 1 by under root of LC. So this is a formula for this omega, angular frequency of that circuit, right? And then next let us write an expression, a general equation for this. So to get this equation, let's suppose this is equation 1 here. To get this equation we can write this another approach here. That means to get that equation until this we can also derive by using the conservation of energy here. So to write this equation, so just mention that equation 1 can also be obtained by using conservation of energy. That can also be obtained by using conservation of energy. So that is, so initial energy is equal to final energy. So initial energy is nothing but q square by or q naught square by 2c. So at any instant what we can write there is q square by 2c plus a half Li square, right? Half Li square. Now this is our energy here at any instant of time. So this is the total energy, and this total energy will be a constant value when there is no resistance in that. When there is no resistance in that, then it will be a constant value. Now let us differentiate this equation here. So that means then differentiate on both sides. So then this value will be total energy is a constant value. Let's suppose this is our equation, another equation, or I'll write it again. So then you can write this as 0 is equal to then 1 by 2c into, like you need to write this as 2q into dq by dt plus then L by 2 into 2i into di by dt. So then this is our equation here, or this equation you can write that as so then this is q by c into, actually this is minus dq by dt. We need to write that as minus I, because that minus I means we mentioned it as dq by minus dq by dt. That is the meaning there. Plus this L into, you can write this I value as I into, then this value is again minus di by dt, right? And so then this value is equal to 0, or you can simplify this equation there. So just or without writing there, without considering the signs also, by the chance we are getting that equation there, or if you are getting confusion, you can directly take that equations also here. If you are writing this conservation of energy, then directly what I can write there is Q by C into then dQ by dt is nothing but I plus I into di by dt. Now we can write L into. So this is equal to 0. So then this equation I can write this as this equation we can write this as L into d by dt of minus dq by dt minus q by c. This is equal to 0. So just I am writing these equations here. This dq by dt I am taking it as minus I, and then L into di by dt. Now that I means again minus dq by dt, so that means that I am writing first here. So then minus sign will be cancelled on both sides, and so that again you will get this equation as d square q by dt plus 1 by LC into q dt square. This is, so then that is our equation there, right? So then that is our equation, which is nothing but this equation 1 here. So then this is nothing but our equation 1. So again you can compare this equation here. That means these are the two methods here. We can use either conservation of energy, or you can use our Kirchhoff laws there, right? So then by either of method you can derive that equation. Then after that our procedure is to write an expression for this Q here. So again here we need to write by comparing with equation of SHM, that is d square x by dt square plus omega square into x is equal to 0. Omega value again I am writing here, that is 1 by root LC. So either you can approach by Kirchhoff law, which is our first method until here. Now this is the second method here. By using this conservation of energy also we can write this expression here. And so next our step is to write this charge expression there. For writing the charge expression, let us take this equation here. So I will rub this. So let us take this general equation there. Generally in our SHM problems we take a general equation and we will use that initial conditions there to verify that, right? So like that, let us take our initial conditions and then write the general equation for that. So that means now at any instant I am taking this charge equation as let Q is equal to Q naught into sine of omega t plus phi I am taking. So because here this charge is, we are saying that it is executing simple harmonic motion by comparing this. So that general equation we are taking here. In SHM our general equation is x is equal to a sine omega t, we can consider there. So such a general equation I am taking here. And so now for this where phi is some initial phase we are taking and omega is given by that expression. Now at t is equal to 0 I am taking here. So let's suppose this is our equation 2. At t is equal to 0, charge on this capacitor is q naught, right? And so now let us use that equation here. Therefore q naught is equal to q naught into sine of omega into 0 plus phi. That means t is equal to 5, we need to substitute there. And therefore from this we can write this sine phi is equal to 1, or that implies this phi is equal to pi by 2. Now we can write. So that is our phi value. Therefore from equation 2, therefore this q is equal to q naught into sine of omega t plus pi by 2. That means we calculated now this phi value, so that phi value I am substituting it there. And therefore this q is equal to q naught into sine omega t, cos omega t. Now you can write. So right, so that is our equation here, cos omega t. So that is our equation here. So charge on the capacitor at any instant of this time, right? So the charge on the capacitor at any instant of time we can obtain by using that equation. And then from this what we can write there is, we can write the current passing through that circuit at any instant. So therefore current we can write that as current through the inductor I is equal to then dq by dt or minus dq by dt. Now if I write that expression as q naught into omega into sine omega t. So this will be our equation for this current here, current at any instant. And so maximum current means then this is nothing but q naught into omega. So you write it. So therefore this maximum current I max is equal to q naught into omega, you can write. So there is a maximum current here. And then actually this equation you can also write it in another way. Another way means just by using our similar to that of our SHM equations there. SHM equations, you know, velocity. This is if you are treating like a displacement, then this will be the velocity. This is similar to that of velocity. So velocity at any instant, we can write that equation like this. So this equation can also be obtained as, that can also be expressed as, this is our equation 3 and let's suppose this is our equation 4 here. And so now see this equation IV expression can also be written as q naught into omega into under root of 1 minus cos square omega t. We can write that cos square omega t we can write by using this equation here. So like q by q naught whole square we can write q by q naught whole square, and if you are taking LCM and if you simplify this, so then this will be omega into under root of q naught square minus q square we can write. So now this equation is similar to that of our velocity expression here. So now this I will write this comparison here. This equation is similar to that of our v is equal to omega into under root of a square minus x square. This SHM equation. In SHM that equation will be there, velocity at any position x. So now this is velocity at any when the charge on the capacitor is q. So like that. And next you can calculate this rate of change of this current. So next let us write this rate of change of current. So that is di by dt. So now let us differentiate this equation. So then this equation is q naught into omega square into cos omega t. Now we can write. And so now this is nothing but q omega t. We can write this as dq by dt is equal to q omega t. Now we can write there. So that q omega t is we can write this as q. So then we can express this as omega square q. So now this is similar to now our acceleration SHM here. Here actually this that value you can take it as differentiation of that I value, you can take it as negative. Then if you want to write our actual sign, so then you can compare this equation with this. This is our equation here. So you can compare with this equation as mod of this a is equal to omega square x you can write. So that means this is comparison there. So for this the comparable equation is this one. And now from this you can write potential difference across the inductor at any instant of time. So therefore potential difference across inductor is equal to VL is equal to, so L into di by dt you can write. So then this is nothing but omega square L into Q, and which is nothing but this potential difference across this capacitor here. So because you know potential difference across these two will be same here, right? So then potential difference across that we can write that like this, the magnitude of this potential difference. So this is nothing but 1 by LC or into L, which is equal to Q. So finally you can express this as Q by C there. So that is nothing but our potential difference across this capacitor. So potential difference across the magnitude of potential difference across capacitor and then inductor, both are numerically same, right? So that will be the different parameters related to this LC oscillations here. This is a standard circuit, we can write like this. So for standard circuit, you can use this equation here to find the charge on the capacitor at any instant, where Q naught is the amplitude of the charge and this is a current equation, right? And in this we need to write the energy conservation also. So by energy conservation equation also important here. So now let us write that equation now. So because some of the problems we can solve by using this conservation of energy itself here. So then by conservation of energy, initial energy is equal to final energy, which we mentioned already, like, so then q square by 2c plus half Li square is equal to q naught square by 2c, right? So that is the conservation of energy there. So at any instant, like q square by 2c, just I am writing the total energy at any instant here, that is equal to that initial energy. So initial energy is this one, which I am writing here. So initial energy is this one, then we can write that. And actually you can compare this oscillations of this charge or oscillations of this LC circuits with our mechanical oscillations there. If you are comparing that, then you can get the more clarity about that. So I will draw that comparison here. That means mechanical oscillations means a block is connected to the one end of the spring, then you can compare with that oscillations there. Oscillations of a spring block system. So most of the problems you can solve by using this conservation of energy equation. So the conservation of energy equation is important in this. So see the comparison here. So in LC oscillations, that means in mechanical system, we need to consider like when the block is at extreme position here. That means initially here, so that this Q is equal to Q naught into cos omega t. Now we are taking that. And so now for this it will be the similar situation is there, like a block system, spring block system here. So this block is at a equilibrium, extreme position there. So this is our equilibrium position, let us consider main point. And so now this is extreme position here, right? So that is at extreme position. So starting from this extreme position, so that here the displacement, corresponding displacement equation is a cos omega t. Now we need to write. So this is actually at t is equal to 0 if you consider, then this situation will be, you can write like this. So initially, so this is a general equation I mentioned here, then initially from this now we can answer here. So at t is equal to 0, then this will be in extreme positions there, right? At t is equal to 0, the energy stored in capacitor will be q square by q naught square by 2c, and energy stored in inductor will be 0. And so then here correspondingly this potential energy is maximum. Potential energy is half k a square maximum, and a kinetic energy will be minimum here. And this energy stored in capacitor is maximum, correspondingly this will be minimum. Energy stored in inductor will be minimum. And next, if you are taking like at a time of t by 4, if we consider, so then next at time t by 4 if I consider, so then at t by 4 the charge on this capacitor will be 0, no charge will be there on that. So this block will be at mean positions there. Right? And so now in this current will be maximum, so that this current passing through the inductor will be maximum, so that the maximum energy will be there across this inductor. So now the potential difference across the capacitor is 0, and so that energy stored in that will be minimum, that is 0, and energy stored across this inductor will be maximum, so which is half Li maximum square. And now similarly for this, this is potential energy will be minimum, and so then here this kinetic energy will be maximum, which is half mv maximum square. Just comparison, that will be numerically equal to this q naught square by 2c here by conservation of energy. Just I am saying this comparison. So like that, then you can write this polarities there. So that means next you can write this at t by 2 if I consider then charge on the capacitor will be again maximum, and but with the polarities will be opposite there. So then the polarities will be there like this. So then charge on the capacitor will be maximum at that instant. And so now this is negative and this is positive here. And so that then in case of this spring block system, then what we can write there is this block is at its left extreme positions there. This is our main position. So this is the left extreme position here, right? And so then again energy stored in the capacitor will be maximum, and so that energy will be again q naught square by 2c, and energy stored in inductor will be minimum, and that will be 0. And so like here potential energy is maximum, so that is again half Ka square, and a kinetic energy will be minimum, and then it will be 0, right? And so then next you may write that 3t by 4 you may write there. Then for 3t by 4 then you will get this same situation similar to that of t by 4, but opposite directions you will get there. Like suppose that t is equal to 3t by 4 if I write, then here the situations will be there like this. Charge on the capacitor will be still 0, but current in the inductor is in opposite direction there. Like suppose current is flowing here, maximum current is flowing here. Then similarly in case of this spring block system, the block is at its main position. The block is at its main position, then it is V maximum, but maximum velocity will be there in opposite direction when compared to this. So then you can write these energies here. The energies will be same energies you will get. So like here potential energy stored in that capacitor will be minimum. So potential energy stored in the capacitor is minimum, and inductor will be maximum. Half Li square you will get, Li maximum square you will get, and then this value will be energy stored across this potential energy is minimum here again, and then kinetic energy is maximum. Sorry, maximum value is half mv square. Then again at t is equal to t, then you will get this first situation there. That means then cycle will be completed. Then again you will get this first situation there. That is a comparison there. Yes, it is similar to that of block at extreme positions there, right? And so then you can also quantities also you can compare, like position is similar to that of this charge, and this velocity is similar to that of current, so which is our dq by dt, and then this acceleration is similar to that of our di by dt, and a kinetic energy is similar to that of half Li square, and potential energy is similar to that of half Ka square, sorry q square by 2c, right? So that is a comparison with this mechanical oscillations there, the physical quantities comparison. So this is a standard circuit. When only one capacitor and one inductor is there, you need to proceed like this. When more capacitors are there, then actually that omega value will be C effective we need to write. Instead of finding this C value there, we need to write that C effective value there. So just to mention that as a note there. Just write that as a note. If circuit consists of more number of capacitors, then if circuit consists of more number of capacitors, then angular frequency of the circuit is given by omega is equal to under root of L into C effective we need to write, or sometimes if L also there, that means more inductors are there, then you can find this L effective also, right? So that depends on that given situation there, L effective into C effective we need to write. So then generally capacitors will be there, more number of capacitors like 2 or 3 capacitors may be there in that, then you can find that effective capacitance there based on that. And next here we neglected that resistance of this circuit here, but if resistance is considered, then it won't become this LC oscillations there, it will become a damped LC oscillations, like we discussed it in SHM, the damped oscillations there. Now if resistance is also there, then it is similar to that of the damped oscillations you will get, because damped oscillations means in SHM we discussed that there will be some opposing force will be there. Because of this opposing force, energy of the system goes on decreasing. Like just if you are pulling a pendulum to one side and release it, then it makes oscillations there. It will make oscillations for finite time and then it will come to the rest at the mean position, right? So that is because of the air resistance. Because of some resistive force, the energy of the bob goes on decreasing continuously and finally it becomes zero, so that it will come to the rest at the mean position there. But in a similar way, if you are neglecting that air resistance, if you are assuming that there is no resistance, then once if you pull it to a side and release it, it should oscillate continuously, right? So that is the ideal case which we discussed now. So practically, like our resistance, some resistance will be there, and so that energy of the system will goes on decreasing there, right? So damped oscillations there. So that is now let us write this as damped LC oscillations, LCR oscillations. Damped LCR oscillations. So you may just mention that in LC circuit, if resistance is also present, then loss of energy takes place. At the resistor in the form of heat energy, and so energy of the system goes on decreasing continuously. And finally it becomes zero. Due to this loss of energy, the maximum possible charge on the capacitor and a maximum possible current through the inductor, goes on decreasing continuously. During the decay of this charge, that means initially our assumption is same, or first you may mention that let Q naught be the initial charge on the capacitor T is equal to 0. Let Q naught be the initial charge on the capacitor at T is equal to 0. During the decay of charge, let I be the current through the circuit. and Q be the charge on the capacitor. Then Q be the charge on the capacitor at any instant. At any instant. Then rate of loss of heat energy, then rate of loss of energy at the resistor can be expressed as Q square by 2C plus half Li square. This is total, right? So this will be the energy of the system here. Now this is the rate of loss of energy, and so that we need to write this value as I square R. And as we are saying this is a rate of loss, I am taking this negative sign, or you need to take that negative sign this side here, because it is a rate of loss. This is energy. If you are taking, that energy goes on decreasing, right? So this is energy of the system at any instant. So E, if you are taking for example, then dE by dt is negative. That is nothing but the negative sign I am taking this side, because energy of the system goes on decreasing there. And so that then this expression you can write that as just differentiate, and let us write these equations here. So then this is 1 by 2C into 2 into Q into dQ by dt, right? And so then this value is plus 1 by 2 into L by 2 into 2I into di by dt, and this is equal to minus I square R. And as we know, this dQ by dt is a negative value, so I can write that as minus I here. So then this value is Q by C into minus I plus L into I into d by dt of minus dQ by dt. We can write that I value is equal to minus I square R, right? So then one I value you can cancel on both sides there, then you can write this as minus or minus sign minus Q by C minus L into d square Q by dt square plus IR is equal to 0, right? So one I will be cancelled, I am writing that term this side. And so now again let us write this equation here. So this is L into d square, that means minus L into d square Q by dt square plus, and this value, see this, minus dQ by dt. This is again I, we need to write it as minus dQ by dt into R. So then this is minus Q by C is equal to 0. Therefore finally this again you can divide, that means multiply with that negative sign, and you can simplify this equation as d square Q by dt square plus R by L into dQ by dt plus 1 by LC into Q you can write. So this is our equation for this damped oscillations here. So then this is the equation here. Suppose say this is our equation. So then in case of damped oscillations, then we can write that equation as, so that means now for damped oscillations in SHM, so our equation is, do you remember the equation for damped oscillations in SHM? So that means now in addition to this, this is only these two terms our SHM terms. Now this is the damping term here. So the damping force we consider it as minus BV. So you can write this equation as like d square x by dt square, or we can write this as net force is equal to minus kx minus BV. Now we can write here simply. So only if minus kx, then it is SHM without damping. If damping is considered, then we need to write that equation like this. So m into d square x by dt square plus b into dv by dt, sorry, dx by dt plus kx is equal to 0. And we write this equation as d square x by dt square plus b by m into dx by dt plus k by m into x, that is equal to 0. So you may mention that where B is called damping constant here. B is called damping constant. And so now compare this equation 1 and equation 2 here. If you compare that equation 1 and equation 2, actually this is the one of the previous mains question. That means last January 2020 that comparison they asked here. So then if you compare these two equations, then M is similar to that of L and R is similar to that of B. So see this comparison here. So L is similar to that of M here. So wherever L is there here, then such a place M is there in our standard equation. And then R is similar to that of this damping constant B here. And then K is similar to that of 1 by C. Right? So that means here K is there. So instead of this K, this 1 by C is there here. Or you can write this as, we are writing all these sides here. So this is C is comparison, C is comparison of this C is 1 by K, where K is that spring constant. So this is a comparison. This is a previous direct mains question. They asked that comparison there. So L is similar to that of inductance is similar to that of mass. So which we mentioned already, inductance is similar to that of inertia there. So now we know mass is nothing but the measure of inertia, and resistance, loss of energy, and their damping constant. And so then this is the spring capacitance there, then it's a spring constant, that is a reciprocal of that spring constant we need to write, right? So that is in case of this damped oscillations, that is a comparison there. And if they ask like any equation, if they ask, then you can write that equation as like you can write this equation as, so for this you will get like x is equal to like a naught into e power minus bt by 2m into like sine omega dt plus phi, you will get the equation for this. So then this is the amplitude of this oscillation, which is goes on decreasing exponentially there, right? And so now here we can write that equation as x is equal to, that means q is equal to some q naught into e power minus b comparison is r, rt by 2l into like sine omega d into t plus phi. So that means that equation you can write, and you can compare this amplitude variation also like this. So the amplitude of this oscillation goes on decreasing here, the charge. Like the charge on this capacitor will goes on decreasing exponentially here. This is an exponential curve we need to draw here. So it goes on decreasing exponentially like this. So it means this is charge versus time. It means that goes on decreasing exponentially. This q into e power minus rt by 2l is nothing but this graph here, right? So it is just a comparison. So we need to remember that such a comparison there. And in this LC oscillations, generally majority of the questions will be based on like maximum current to the inductor. They will ask here. In standard circuit means you can apply directly that formula you can apply, or the just a conservation of energy you can write. Standard circuit means only one capacitor and one inductor will be there. But whereas if for example two inductors are there, let us see the procedure for that. Two capacitors are there. So that means now here I am taking a situation like this is an inductor. And another inductor is connected here, right? So these are the two inductors there. So one inductor is of capacitance, this is A, and capacitance C, and this is B, which is charged here. So then this is minus CV naught and plus CV naught. So its capacitance is also C1. That means it's a B also, its capacitance is also C. Then the charge on this capacitor is given like that. and its LC value is given as this LC value is 2 by pi square into 10 power 4. So that is that LC value here, that units will be given like SI units are given, like you will get it CV square, and the CV naught value is given as 100 millicoulombs. This is a given data, right? So in that we need to find this charges on the capacitor A and capacitor B respectively at any instant of time. So just to mention that in the circuit shown in figure, capacitor B is charged to a potential V naught. Capacitor C is capacitor B of capacitance C is charged to a potential difference V naught. Then it is connected in series with an inductor and an identical uncharged capacitor A and an identical uncharged capacitor A as shown in figure. Find the charge on the capacitors A and B at any instant of time t. If the switch is closed at t is equal to 0. If the switch is closed at t is equal to 0. Right, the given data, mention the data there, that will be the given data there. And so then just we know the charge on this capacitor now goes on decreasing, so it will be like, suppose you may consider this as Q naught here. So then what I am taking there is, I will draw this circuit again here. That means now this is a capacitor B and this is a capacitor A, both are C only, identical capacitance only. So then here charge on this capacitor will become Q naught minus Q here, plus Q naught minus Q, and this is minus of Q naught minus Q. And so then charge on this capacitor will be plus Q and minus Q, and this is I is the current flowing through this. And so let us apply the KVL along this direction here. So by KVL, minus L into di by dt minus L into di by dt, and this is next I am writing this term here, plus Q naught minus Q by C, and then next we are writing here, that is again plus Q by this will be minus Q by C, because we are traveling from this negative to positive terminal here, because if this is a positive plate, then you will get this plate is also positive. So then this value is equal to 0, right? And so then let us rearrange the terms there. So I can write this terms as like L into di by dt plus Q by C, that means 2Q minus Q naught by C. This is equal to 0, right? And so that this equation we can write that as di by, that means if you are writing comparison here, then what we can write there is so then d by dt of dq by dt plus q by 2q by this is L into C is equal to 0 you will get. So that means now I is here, dq by dt now we are taking as I, that q is a positive, it is increasing only. Initially this q is 0, right? That I am not taking this negative sign here, right? And the another important thing here is, can you say this, what is our omega value here? Omega value is nothing but 1 by under root of C effective we need to write, right? Because two capacitors are there. And so now here that C effective value is nothing but two capacitors are in series here, so C by 2 you will get. So that this value is nothing but L into C by 2 you will get. And so now we need to get that value here. So C omega C, now you can't take it as this LC value, can't take it as omega square here. 1 by LC value can't take it as omega square. So you need to note this value also. So the by 2 is required. So let us divide that value with the 2 there. And so that then d square q by dt square plus, then this value you need to write that as 2q minus q naught by 2 by LC by 2. So this is equal to 0, right? And so now that value we need to take that as omega value there, omega square value. So then compare with that equation like d square x by dt square plus some x. So here x in the cells, here also now we actually can take this value here. Is it clear? So this x means I am taking it as some capital X here. So this I am taking as capital X. So then here also then it will be capital X by omega square now you can take, where capital X is this value here. Is it clear? So the capital X means then this value you need to take, because the differentiation of this also you will get again d square q by dt square only, because q naught is 0 here. Let it be capital X. Then here if you differentiate this, what I am saying is this term will be q naught differentiation will be 0, only you will get d small q by dt only you will get. So then we need to cancel like this. So then if you are taking like this, then we can write that value as omega is equal to under root of 1 by L into C by 2. So which you can write that as under root of 2 by LC, right? So that is our omega value. And that value is given for us. If you want, you can substitute that value there. So I can write this expression as omega into under root of 2 by LC value is given for us. So 2 into here this numerator pi square into 10 square you will get, 10 power 4 you will get, right? And so I can write this omega value as now 100 pi finally. So radians per second. So that is our omega value according to the given data. And then next let us write the charge equation here. Therefore the charge equation means what we can write there is 2q minus q naught by q is equal to some a into or cos omega t plus phi. Cos you can consider or sin also you can consider, that is your choice. We are again taking a general equation here. General equation we are taking there. Is it clear? So then this is our x value. So x is equal to a sin omega t we are taking, where a is nothing but amplitude of this charge. And so now we need to find here two unknowns are there in this equation here. So let's suppose this is our equation. Now in this equation two unknowns are there here. One unknown is this phi here, and other unknown is this amplitude. So you can substitute those unknown our initial conditions, and from initial conditions we can write. So at t is equal to 0 if I write, at t is equal to 0, then q is equal to q naught 0 you can write, the small q value. There is no charge on this capacitor here. And therefore if you substitute that value, then it is minus q by 2 q naught by 2 is equal to a into sin phi you will get here, right? So that is our one condition here. Let's suppose I am taking this is equation 2. And now let us differentiate that equation there. So then it is dq by dt is equal to a omega into cos of omega t plus phi. I am differentiating this equation, only here dq by dt you will get. So this is nothing but q naught differentiation is 0. And then this a omega into, instead of the sine we will get the differentiation of sine as cos. Now again let us write this dq by dt at t is equal to 0 there. So at t is equal to 0, so dq by dt value is 0, right? So then let us substitute that value there. Therefore this 0 is equal to a omega into sine cos phi. Cos phi you will get. And from this now we can calculate this cos phi value, that means phi value you can calculate, and so from that a value you can calculate there. So that implies we can write that cos phi is equal to 0, and so this phi is equal to pi by 2 now we can write. So that means cos 90 is equal to 0. So then if you substitute in that equation 2, from equation 2, minus q naught by 2 is equal to a sin pi by 2. So that implies that a is equal to minus q naught by 2 you will get. So that is our a value. And so once if you got A value, then you can write from equation 1. Therefore, I will rub here and I will write these equations there. So finally now we are going to write those equations now, values now, charge on these capacitors. So now I will write this from equation 1 I am writing here. From equation 1, so from that equation let us substitute those values there. 2q minus q naught by 2 is equal to minus q naught by 2 into sine of omega t plus pi by 2. Is it clear? The known values, that means all values which we calculated, just I am substituting in that equation. So we need to write that q expression there from this. And so then 2q minus q naught is equal to minus q naught into cos omega t. And therefore this q is equal to q naught by 2 into 1 minus this value I am writing this side, so cos omega t you will get. So now this q is nothing but what we can write there is charge on this capacitor A. So this is the charge on this capacitor A here. So if I ask now charge on the capacitor B, charge on the capacitor B at that instant is q naught minus q, which we considered there. So this value is also given for us, that is if I substitute these numericals, so charge on this capacitor is, this is 100 by 2. So 50 you will get here. So 50 into 1 minus cos of, I think we got this value as 100 pi. So once take that value, millicoulombs you will get. Now the charge on this q, you can write this as charge on B, you can write this as q naught minus q you can write. So that means q naught minus q means this is our q value, you can substitute that. And so that what we can write there is q naught by 2 into 1 plus cos omega t, now we can write. So this is our charge on B. So therefore the charge on B value, you can write this expression as, let us substitute these numericals, cos of 100 pi into t millicoulombs you will get. So that will be the charge on this B. So like that we need to calculate the charge on A and charge on B there, right? And so next I will explain one more problem based on this maximum current calculation, maximum current in this inductor. So now I am taking these two capacitors here and one inductor. So now initially these are charged here. Let's suppose this is charged to V0 and this is it is charged to 2V0, 3C and C, right? So that will be the situation what we are considering there. So this is minus and plus, plus and minus I am taking there. There is the polarities of that system. So let us take this as minus and plus. So same side. So that will be our system now. And so now we need to write maximum charge on this maximum current through the inductor and potential difference across the capacitors. That means automatically the remaining values you will get there. So just mention that two capacitors of capacitance C and 3C are charged to a potential difference of V0 and 2V0 respectively. These two capacitors are connected in series to an inductor of inductance L, to an inductor of inductance L as shown in figure. If switch is closed at t is equal to 0, if switch is closed at t is equal to 0, then find maximum current passing through the inductor. Maximum possible current passing through the inductor, right? So maximum current we need to write there. So maximum current means, remember this, So when I is maximum, what we can write there is di by dt is 0, right? So then di by dt is 0 means then that means potential difference across that inductor is 0. So because potential difference across inductor is nothing but we write this L into di by dt there. So potential difference across this inductor is 0 in the sense then these two capacitors will get the common potential difference there such that their potential difference across that combination will be equal to 0. So let us consider now these two systems here, like these two plates. Let us consider whatever the net charge is available, that redistribution of the net charge will take place there, right? And so that just directly I am writing this, directly that concept is nothing but for capacitors we need to calculate the common potential. So let us find the common potential for that capacitors there. Common potential difference across capacitors. So then this is nothing but that common potential difference, we can write that as total charge by total capacitance we need to write. So 3C into 2V0, that is plus charge here, and this is minus C into V0 by this is C plus 3C, right? So that will be that potential difference there. And so now you can simplify this as Vc is equal to 6 minus 1 5 by 3 V0 you will get. So that will be our common potential difference there, right? And so now you can find the charge on this each capacitors there. So common potential difference across this means you can write this charge on this each capacitor as, so actually for conservation of energy directly you can write in terms of this potential difference. So directly I am writing in terms of this potential difference. If you want you can find the charge on the capacitor Q square by 2C. That means if you know the charge we write the energy formula as Q square by 2C. Then otherwise we write the formula as half CV square formula you can write there. So simply in general condition when one capacitor and one inductor is there, maximum current in the inductor means then energy stored in the capacitor will become 0, right? So that is the important thing you need to remember, which we discussed there, basic case. Energy stored in the capacitor will be 0, total energy will be stored in the form of magnetic energy only. But some amount of energy will be stored in capacitors also when inductor current in the inductor is maximum. That is the important thing you need to remember. It won't be 0. Some potential difference will be there across the capacitor which is given by this equation, and so that some energy will be there inside that inside the capacitors. The remaining energy will be there in the form of this the minimum energy. Then at that instant we can say that capacitor store definitely the minimum energy, then inductor maximum energy will be there in inductor, right? So but not 0 in capacitors. That is the important thing you need to write here. So then by conservation of energy, so like initial energy is equal to final energy, now we can write. So now initial energy is nothing but what I can write there is half into 3C into 2V0 whole square plus half into C into V0 square. So this will be our initial energy there, right? And so now the final energy of the system is now, the final energy of the system we can write this as half Li maximum square plus half C plus 3C into Vc square common. So this is the common energy there. Then you can simplify that, and from that you can write this half Li square value, and I am cancelling this half in each term, so that then this value is Li maximum square is equal to, so then here it is 4 into 3 12 CV0 square plus CV0 square minus here it is 4C into this value will be like 25 by 9 V0 square, right? So then take LCM and then simplify this, then you will get this potential difference here. CV0 square I am taking common here. So then it is 13 into 9 minus 100 by 9. Sorry, here it is 4. This common potential, here it is 4 here. So that's a mistake there. So because here 3C plus C we need to consider, so it is 4. 6 minus 1, 5. So then 5 by 4. So then it is 16 you will get here. Then 16 means, see this 1, 4 will be cancelled. Then you can write this as 13 minus 25 by 4. Right? And so that then this expression is like Li maximum square, that means I maximum square is equal to Cv naught square by L into 13 means 52, so 27 by 4. And therefore this I maximum value I can write this as 3 V naught by 2 into under root of 3C by L, right? So then that is our maximum current there. So in that maximum current automatically we will get this common potential. That means sometimes they will ask this question here, or sometimes they may ask what is the charge on the each capacitor at that instant. If they ask a charge on the capacitor in each instant, that depends on the question there. Once if you understand that, then you can answer this anything about this circuit here. So that means if they ask a charge on the capacitor, like suppose this Q1 let us consider and this is Q2 let us consider here, charge when the current in the inductor is maximum. Then Q1 expression we can write this as C into Vc, common potential. So then it is 5 by 4 into Cv naught. And this Q2 value. So then 3C into 5 by 4 into Cv naught. 5 by 4 into V naught, and so that then this value will be 15 by 4 Cv naught you will get. So right. So then like that we need to write this total charge, that means charge on this each capacitor. Now we can write the charges on the each capacitor there, right? And so like that you can write the charges on each capacitor at any instant. And then if you want to represent the polarities also, then you can represent these polarities like this. The charges polarities there. So then this will be the charge at that instant. This is plus Q2, and this is minus, this is plus Q1. This will be minus Q1 and this will be minus Q2 you will get. So this will be the polarities of this situation there, polarities of the charges. And so that now we can verify this potential difference across this combination will be 0, across this will be 0, potential difference between these 2 points will be 0, because that is nothing but the condition what we should get there. This condition is common here. Whenever current in the inductor is maximum, then potential difference across the inductor will be 0, because di by dt should be maximum. So like that we need to calculate that. So simply whenever a combination of capacitors are there and if they are asking maximum current, so find the common potential across these capacitors, then apply the conservation of energy there. So right. If only one capacitor and one inductor is there, so initial energy, whatever the initial energy stored in the capacitor, that totally converts into the magnetic energy there. So Q naught square by 2C is equal to half Li maximum square you will get for one capacitor and one inductor. If combination is given, then this is the procedure to solve that. So practice the more problems based on that, then you will get the more clarity about that, right? And in the next class, I will start about this alternating circuits, the AC circuits. Thank you.